Hello, one and all, and welcome back to the 4-Digit World Cup. Here we are with our early morning and or late night match for our Australian-Philippines players. It's going to be new pool but same duo. I am hubbawubba, and joining me on commentary is Lightin. How are you feeling about the matchup?
Oh, I'm feeling quite good actually since, well, first of all, the seeds are quite close. It's going to be seed 12 Australia fighting off against Philippines. It's seed number 18. And if I recall correctly, this is one of the losers bracket matches. So this one is potentially going to be a lot of heartbreak for a potential team here. And not gonna lie, I feel like we are going to see a pretty interesting and entertaining match ahead of us. And with that, I feel like yeah, I feel like we can start. A few delays here and there, a few technical issues, but we are here and we are ready to witness some Osu in front of us, if one could say so.
Yeah, and Osu we shall have. I'm gonna be quite excited for a handful of skill sets in this matchup, mainly the tapping mechanics and the reading. Of course, both of these countries well known for their reading. Australia recently, a lot of this roster coming up from the 5WC roster, one of the strongest reading rosters I've seen in any World Cup. We used it very efficiently to bring USA to bracket reset there, and Philippines with the standout star Zany still on the come up alongside Francis Queso and others, has some solid backup for a potential coup on some of those reading picks.
That is true. Something that I really find funny about this matchup is that a lot of players have already been playing against each other in 5WC. Obviously, the Australia core, some players from Philippines, and in general, something that this pool reminds me of, especially the DT pool. DT pool is kind of similar to 5WC, with DT1 being the same song, DT3 also being from the same map set. And I feel like DT2, as someone who has been pooling for 5WC, was considered to be pooled as well. So with that being said, I feel like we are gonna see a pretty yeah, I feel like this is kind of romantic in some way or the other.
Yeah, and a surprising first ban actually is going to be Hard Rock 2 first ban for the Philippines, getting out Carnation Inc., that Hollow Wings kind of gimmick-ish precision pick.
Pretty much, we also see a few bans coming in from Australia with No Mod 4 and 3 Mod 3. No Mod 4 mainly being a Slatter Tech map, mapped by none other than Password. I'm not going to be able to see that name fully, my bad, but nonetheless though, a pretty interesting map. Same with 3 Mod 3, focused more on Alternate and Snap. Does pick up a lot near the ending with some pretty crazy patterns towards the end. But with that being said, we are going to be waiting for the second ban from Philippines, which I feel like might be... I actually don't know. Maybe like... No, I don't know. Maybe No Mod 6, because like No Mod 6, obviously, it's considered gimmick, but also it's like very unconventional because of OD10.
For sure, yeah, that added OD definitely going to be hitting the accuracy where it hurts for some of those bans, but it's going to be No Mod 2 getting rid of that main stamina stream pick, the Good Rush by Selena. So leaving reading relatively open on the board, getting rid of that free Mod 3 Zany, well-known easy player, likely to capitalize on that. Australia probably well scouted on similar maps, but no, unlikely to take their chances on that specific skill set. As we head into Australia's first pick now.
Yep, first pick from Australia. I feel like they might be not feeling good on mechanics given that No Mod 2 ban, so I'm not really sure whether they want to start off immediately with like something like DT2 or DT3 unless they are quite brave. As obviously Philippines can also play it quite well. Something to note here is that they can also go for reading, so like something really difficult about this matchup is that a lot of these skill sets for both of these teams, they overlap, so it's kind of hard to predict what the players and what the teams will play, but we do see a DT4 instead, a custom map by Mate focused primarily on DT alternate and also a few other aspects to it. Also, the map was updated not that long ago. I feel like it was updated like 1.5 hours ago with the hit sounds being added. So, yep. I feel like we are going to see an interesting map ahead of us.
Yeah, this is a map that that Philippines didn't play last week, but Australia did, barely squeaking out a loss to South Korea, but with a very solid 2.7 million team score on the similar DT alternate map, likely to do pretty well here. I feel like the AR is a little bit higher here than on that DT3 from last week. Gonna be that main difference. Gonna see if that strikes them out at all, as Philippines very confident on those higher AR picks.
Oh, for sure, and by the looks of it, we already have the rosters being ready. GGLF, Tom, Andy, Safi, and Arbusion all ready for Australia. Jitterish, Burhap, and Haley for the Philippines side, probably going to be joined by Zainid relatively soon. In general, you know, this kind of, you know, have you ever got that feeling of deja vu? Because I swear to God, I've said those names already in the 5WC.
In 5WC, yep, they're still on the come up, these new players. I'll love to see them coming up. Prospects, my favorite, and old players as well, of course. Arbusion de-ranking down to 4-digit and then immediately ranking back up to his current rank of 889. So 4WC or OWC ready for future months, I would imagine.
Oh, definitely, but I feel like it's going to be a little more difficult to get into the OWC roster if you're him, considering the competition and the amount of players that Australia has. But nonetheless, though, we are slowly going to be transitioning into the map now. The players are ready. We do see Gaber Assess joining in for Philippines, and good luck funds are now in the chat.
Yep, one of those. Some core players on each side. Of course, JGLF likely to be filling in a lot of skill sets for the Australian team. Gabber SS, similar boat, strong on reading and these mechanics alike. DT alternate map incoming with Demon's Theme.
Good looking records. Wait, is that the song from yeah, I might be really wrong right now, but is this the song from like Bendy's Ink Machine or like whatever that game is called? I might be like very off though.
I don't think I've ever played that one, but it could be.
Yep, could as well be. But yeah, starting off already with the map, we do see a slight combo advantage, not a combo, it's accuracy advantage for Australia. 12,000 lead early on. The map is relatively average, like 2 minutes and 47 seconds long, so nothing too scary and out of the ordinary for this one, as Sefi is looking quite good, as well as Arbusion when it comes to the accuracy department, and as well as Geber Assas, Perhap, and Jitterish. We do see a first miss coming in from Francesco, though, which is gonna hurt them quite a bit.
Yeah, there's also an element of finger control in this map with a lot of these DT alt patterns. Some of these stacks little longer, handful of quints and triples alike. The main reason for this accuracy difference, that first break from Francis Queso, yet to be matched by anybody else in the lobby, is going to be a solid start for the Australian side, but Sefi slider break gonna be a little bit of an equalizer in this first third.
Ooh, yeah, this one will hurt as well, as Francesco's good on the recovery, 350 combo and growing as we are about halfway into the map now. The map does get a lot more intense. A lot more finger control elements to it. 5 burst, triples, sky bursts, and Arbusion, though, do trade a few misses here and there, which does leave Australia still in slight favor when it comes to combo. 2 FCs and a good recovery combo from Francesco, saving them for now, but the lead is still slightly on Australia's side due to the accuracy, but the map just keeps on going. Another miss from Gaber. GG left, though, does find a miss, and that gives Philippines the edge. Francesco missing as well. Arbusion also finding a miss, but 2 FCs against 1, as Jitterish and Perhap are going to be fighting off against Top Andy and Sefi. Sefi is the recovery combo here, but Jitterish and Perhap are doing so well, as 1/3 of the map is still left, and the map just does not slow down at all.
Yeah, and I mean, all things considered, you usually see score lines like this skyrocket a lot faster, but this bottom layer of the Philippines having a hard time getting those recovery combos above this 400 mark. Gabber just now making it to that point, but unfortunately falling apart, and FC goes with it, and immediately that 30k lead starting to shift back over as we make it to our final quarter of the map. Arbusion and Sefi recovering in a good way. Final FC down for Dumb Andy. Perhaps holding on tight to his FC. Can he clutch it out? About 150k left of potential score for him. But this recovery combo from Sefi is matching. Arbusion falls. Oh, no, FC's down. Australia with an incredibly close first pick to close out this opening of the match.
Oh, this one does hurt a lot. 80,000 difference here. It was so close up until the very end. Perhaps had it in the palm of his hand, but sadly falling in the very end as Australia good on the recovery combo, saving them from the onslaught of that particular player. 1 million score for Perhap, and in general, some pretty good scores. But something to note here is that Australia do get their first point on the board on their own pick. Obviously, with a few issues here and there, but still a point is a point. And with that, Philippines are going to be moving on to their own pick.
Yeah, very close pick. The lowest score in that lobby being a 512k is very high bar to pass over, but Philippines, they know what they want. They're picking it quick. They're going into the Mega Fan Flow ult with Massive X. This one going to feature some rhythm difficulty as well.
Yo, you know, like this name of the song gives me like an idea for the potential pattern in the map. I don't remember whether there's a pattern with a massive X on that one, but yeah, that would be kind of cinema. But nonetheless, though, Mega Fan, obviously mostly known for their tech maps, does do some really good Nomad Force and Hard Rock tech maps as well. Quite well known for that. But also this map, this particularly ult map, quite well done. A lot of alternative patterns, a lot of the difficulty in general is evenly spread out throughout the entire map. Obviously, slightly getting harder on key ice, but nothing too out of the ordinary, as the map by itself focuses primarily on flow alternate.
Yeah, and I do like the strategy from Philippines. This is the only overlapping player so far in this roster they've picked out is going to be Perhap and Gabbers. Okay, so that core roster, but getting Zany in, that strong player from the Philippines, the main prospect that they have, is always going to be a good shot trying to get their strongest player in these maps.
Yep, when you have the star, you have, first of all, the confidence when you see the star in your roster, an up-and-coming star for Philippines. And you also feel a lot more confident with that in general. But the players are now joining into the map itself. GGLF, Dumb Andy, Haley, and Arbusion making their appearance once again. Gieber says Siran, Perhap, and Zini for Philippines, as we are slowly going to be moving into the map itself. A no mod-free alternate map, 155 BPM, a little bit on the higher BPM part when it comes to alternate maps, but still in that alternate zone, still an interesting map nonetheless.
Yeah, that 5 BPM bridge right there where Alta becomes streams at 160, but still in the alt range here for 155 and starting to hit some of these flow patterns, going around and around with a lot of these triangle shapes. No breaks early and a couple hundred AC advantage to be going both ways early on.
Yeah, but a few early misses coming in from Zany and GGLF, not something they want to see if you're looking for players, but also Perhap finding a miss early on, which does give the combo advantage all the way to Australia as they hold on to PFCs. But Haley, though, finds a massive chain miss on those squares as the map continues to go on. We are on the first guy as of now, and the map just gets more intense as we are going in with those crazy aim control patterns. Gieber does find a miss, traded by Haley, Arbusion, and Zany. Also, Sidon also falling, but Dom Andy is going to be holding on to the FC so far. Obviously losing a lot of accuracy in that aim control section, but still holding on to the combo, which makes him the difference maker as Australia and the Philippines are now finally moving on from the first KI.
And this was the story of the last map as well. Dumb Andy playing a good match so far, holding on to biggest combo in the lobby. Once again, Zydord and Gabbers starting to build up, but it's matched by Haley and Arbusion. Perhaps biggest combo on the Philippine side. If Dumb Andy falls, that's free 400 for them. But 50k score lead for Australia so far. These overlap patterns, no slouch. Big slider, not going to be striking anyone out, well prepped on the ticks.
58,000 advantage here coming in for Australia, slightly going more towards the left as the time goes on, but Sidendo does find a miss, which is going to accelerate the equilibrium going for Australia's favor even more, as Perhap is probably, oh no, wait a minute, not the time to miss, especially with the Bancho. That was not Bancho, and Perhap also finding a miss. This one is going to hurt them a lot as that was the highest combo for Philippines, but Dom Andy still unfazed, still standing, still holding the combo, breaking that 1,000 combo mark and hitting all of these crazy aim control patterns. What is that man doing? We're about 1/3 away into the map and the advantage is already almost 300,000 as Dom Andy just keeps going on and hitting those crazy patterns.
Yeah, the flow control on Fleek for Dumb Andy, still holding on to the FC as he passes on that 700k mark, already 400k difference. And I gotta imagine this is a tough outcome for Philippines. Very volatile map to go into for your first pick, and the early match nerves gonna be striking out a number of players' scores. Gabber SS building up a pretty solid combo, but it's still matched by Haley. Dumb Andy with this FC being held, it's all eyes on him. Can he close it out in style for the first breakpoint of the match?
Well, the map does not really pick up that much. It's almost the last section here. Slaughter from Citern, but nothing too out of the ordinary as Dumb Andy does secure an FC for his team on Nomad Free. Also, a few solid scores coming in from Haley and Gaber says, also breaking that 1000 combo barrier, but Dumb Andy, one could say even cracked Andy, because this score is absolutely insane coming from him, getting that breakpoint from Philippines and also doing it with a fashion with such a crazy score.
Yeah, very solid combo there for Dumb Andy. But Philippines, they gotta do some qualling now. It's always gonna be a big hit to your mental when you lose that first pick. Australia still has plenty of options to go, likely to go into another one of these DTs based off of how comfortable that 4 looked.
Yep. And you know, Gaber does have a point, because Nomad Free, you win this with a pretty good fashion here. Almost like 300,000 score advantage. And if you consider Australia's ban on Fremont Free, I feel like that, with the maps not being that far off when it comes to the overall structure, obviously Fremont Free being more focused on Snuff alternate, I feel like Australia could have also gotten an upper hand on Fremont Free as well, despite it being banned. But however, we do get a DT3 coming in from Australia now. This is going to be your speed map. 270 BPM in general. Also, quite intense. So we did see this map, a higher difficulty obviously on Hard Rock for 5WC if I recall correctly, but in general, with DT on, the skill set of this map changes abysmally a lot. It's going to be 270 BPM speed, a few bursts and triples here and there, but in general, this is going to be quite a contested pick, I feel like, because both Australia and Philippines are quite good at this skill set.
Yeah, there wasn't really any speed tested to this degree in last week's pool, other than on the DC1, Australia getting a 3.8 million team score there, number 4 out of the countries who play the map. So about as close as you're going to get. Very strong pick for them if that is to be considered. But DT2, however, Philippines squeaked out a victory there by 70k in comparison to Australia's score. So definitely a contested pick based off of maps played. Philippines looking to get their get back, chip on their shoulder after that early breakpoint.
Indeed. And by the looks of it, Dumb Andy, I'm not sure whether they're going to stay in the lobby, asking the question that he wonders a lot in the chat, but nonetheless though, he is on fire after the previous map, and you know, maybe sometimes you just gotta chill, you just gotta take a little break after a massive pop-off performance, unless you want to keep the momentum going, because the momentum is on Australia's side. 2-0 so far, looking to secure the third point as well, and a run away with the score difference when it comes to Philippines and Australia's matchup in general. But yeah, the players are going to be in the lobby. It looks like GGLF is going to be switching out.
Actually, a couple switch outs. Haley and likely to be Fault in that case, I would imagine, if the Dumb Andy is switching out, question mark.
Yup, I feel like they might, because I'm not sure whether this is their skill set or not, but nonetheless, so we do see them coming back, so they do play this map anyways, so DT3. The map in general with DT on is also going to be around average in length 2 minutes and 30 seconds long, not something out of the ordinary as well. But yep, the players are in the lobby, slowly going to be transitioning into this DT3, but in general, what do you think of this pick, Hubba?
I mean, I think if you get a breakpoint, picking something like this is smart to go after. It's one of those more contested skill sets. Australia very comfortable on the speed, as we know from their previous rosters. So it's going to have to be that consideration versus this new Philippines mechanics roster, Bin Ninja, Jitterish, these new additions to the team, gonna be really solid stuff for this introduction to 270.
Yep. I'm not sure whether we had 270 prior when it comes to the map pools, but nonetheless, the players are now starting off. The intro is relatively slow, but it does pick up quite a lot, and it does not let you go. The whole map is just going to be like the intro, then it picks up, and then it just keeps on going, not putting on a brakes, just a full-on highway driving right here. But nonetheless, though, the map starts off with a guy on the board, a couple of hundreds found, but still all FCs are intact as the accuracy advantage is going to be on Philippines side, with Perhap holding a pretty good 99.2% accuracy with the first PI, as Sephi does find a miss early on.
Yeah, that accuracy in that early combo break, especially for Dumb Andy now, as he drops nearly below that 90% mark, is going to be a big lead for Philippines early. And I mean, this is what I was worried about, that chip on their shoulder. Another FC falls. It's only matched by Perhap, as the triple FC for Francis Case or Jitterish, Bin Ninja. Haley has quite the ways to go. Has to hold the line against these three FCs now.
Indeed, they have to, as Dom Andy also having a lot of issues with the accuracy, 89.9%. He was the man that made Australia's dream come true on Nomad 3, but now DT3 suddenly is silent, obviously not being a different skill set, but so far, so good for Philippines. 250,000 advantage so far, as Francesco does find a miss though. 2 FCs against 1, with the recoveries from Australia coming in strong, but Dom Andy does find a miss once again, as those FCs are still holding. No, never mind though, Bin Ninja misses, and now suddenly Australia does have an opportunity to come back from this. Jitterish, the lone man standing for Philippines, with the only recovery from Perhap, but Haley though does find a miss, and the FCs are now gone for Australia.
Yeah, FC's gone, and potential score in the gutter. Sephi holding on to this 99% is Australia's best chance at this point, but he has to hold on for this final quarter.
Never mind! It was a Panther miss!
Wait, whose was?
Haley! They still have the combo!
Uh-oh. Well, okay, it's still this 250 line. Dumady unfortunately misses again, so I mean, it'd have to be the Jitterish break is the only way they claw back. The score lead's still going by way of Philippines just from these recovery combos. And Sephi also falls!
Oh my god.
That's not gonna be helping, but it's just Jitterish, man. Jitterish holding on to this FC. And the Haley, that miss is real that time, and Jitterish to be breaking right after, but what a breakpoint comeback for the Philippines after that devastation on Nomad 3. Getting their get back quickly.
Yep, there was the light at the end of the tunnel for Australia when it comes to this DT3. Haley and Sephi held onto a pretty significant combo, but still Jitterish, he just refused to miss, only missing at the very end and getting 1.05 million score, making a massive difference here in helping Philippines get their first point on the board. But with that, finally, they have an opportunity to come back and get the momentum on their side now as well, as it's going to be their turn to pick. And if anything, I feel like this DT3 was a good lesson for them, because suddenly the mechanics are looking quite good for Philippines, and they might go for something like Nomad 5 or maybe DT2.
Yeah, maybe. I do worry about the Australia roster suddenly. It felt like that was supposed to be somebody else playing that map, and then a unfortunate Phil situation, or Dumb Andy claiming a skin issue, but it remains to be seen how these other maps will go, pending those issues. But Philippines likely to go in that direction, or maybe even a different direction. Again, reading very contested between these two teams. I'm sure Philippines feeling confident on comfort mods if they wanted to go into a free mod after that free mod 3 ban as well.
They might, but still, it does depend though. Free mod 1 being mainly an awkward aim map. We do see a Hard Rock 3 being picked though. It's going to be a tech map, and also I'm a huge fan of this pick, because Australia, they did ban Nomad 4, and Hard Rock 3, this is going to be obviously not as slider heavy as Nomad 4, but still, this is going to be an Azrael map. And if you know anything about Azrael or Stiag, they do focus a lot on their sliders. It does have a few 1/4 to it as well, so there's a slight element of flow. But this is going to be a pretty good pick for Philippines, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to this at all, especially with that Hard Rock ban as well. Getting rid of the precision, Hard Rock likely to be a discomfort for the Australian team. So Remains to be seen how they will do with the clash of their band skill sets.
Pretty much. They'll need to get that point on the board to equalize the score. They need that point desperately because otherwise Australia is just going to run away with the points. Unless they want to trade break points left, right, and center, which is also a possibility, but not something that can easily be predicted. Hard Rock Free, though, on paper, does favor the Philippines side, as they do have a lot of good tech players, and also given the Australia's ban on Nomad 4, this is suddenly something that Philippines can use to their advantage. The map also being quite short, and also like really short. It's going to be 1 minute and 1.5 minutes, basically. So, there is that. Every single combo is going to matter. Every single miss is going to hurt every player a lot, every team a lot. So, you gotta try your best to hold the combo and also make sure that your accuracies look good.
For sure, yeah. I mean, the diff name does not lie. Definitely Huzz RNG with how short this map is. As rosters get ready to get in, it's going to be same for Arbusian Sephi, Haley, Dumandy, Zyadorn, and Jitterish hopping back in the lobby for this one. As we are about to head into our very short Hard Rock tech pick, Hard Rock 3.
Yep, feels left out. Quite a classical map. Obviously, this map being custom by Azrago for this tournament, but there's also another set that is used quite a lot. At least it has been back in like 2023 and 2024. Maybe even earlier than that. But yeah, the map we are slowly going to be moving in and transitioning into this Hard Rock Free Azrago tech, as one could say so, and we are now ready.
Yep, ready to go with our devilish tech map here. Going to be very volatile early on. We're going to be looking out for this flow difficulty as well as the Hard Rock comfort of these players. Early AC advantage to Australia through these early finger control sections, but a break from both Dumandy and Arbusian early actually is going to be sliding it right back to the Philippines direction for a solid start, but perhaps Zyadorn and Dumandy finding a triple break on that first big space pattern, and you're already seeing the volatility as Sephi also falls.
A lot of misses left, right, and center. The only one holding through this massive chain misses is going to be Haley and Jitterish, the hero of Philippines on the last DTP, trying to make the difference once more, as Haley was also there to hold on until last time. Looking on fire as Arbusian is good on the recovery, as well as Perhap and Francesco. A slight combo advantage here for Philippines as Dumandy unable to find the combo and also struggling a lot on the accuracy. Suddenly, also Arbusian finds a miss on the slow section. Not something you want to see, especially with one third of the map still left. This one is going to hurt a lot as there's still a last DI to be played. Sephi and Jidden missing all the build-up, and now finally the last K. It's all going to come down to Haley and Jitterish. Whoever misses first is probably going to be the one to let their team down, but still, Philippines are so far ahead already, and Haley does find a miss, but Jitterish once more obviously finding a miss at the very end, but once again making a massive difference for his team, which gets them the point once more, and they finally equalize the score on this Hard Rock Free.
Yeah, immediately back to 2-2. A very strong pick for the Philippines. Very consistent, unfortunately. Haley getting that S rank, but not having the backup required. Lowest score in the lobby for Philippines being that 300k, but really solid stuff from them. That team consistently beating out the top score.
Yep, pretty much. Good performance here from both Haley and Jitterish. Haley actually outscoring Jitterish due to the higher accuracy, and also, yeah, probably just higher accuracy in this case, as there's barely any combo difference between them and Jitterish. But now it's going to be Australia's turn to pick, and now suddenly you have to probably start off a new front line in this regard, because you lost your mechanics pick on DT3, which should have been your confident pick, but it might be due to a few players of Australia missing, because we did see Dumandy playing DT3 and getting a really subpar accuracy, around like 92% if I recall correctly. So now suddenly Nomad 5 and DT2, the picks that might have been on your side, are looking. So maybe the idea is to try and play something like Hidden 2 or maybe Nomad 6. I know that a lot of people in the chat wants to see that Nomad 6, an act battle. Something to note also is Hidden 1, because that map is map, focused more on snap and also the BPM being lower. I think it's around like 240, 250. So there's that. But I feel like the correct option would probably be Hidden 2 for Australia.
Just reading the chat, Zydorn saying, it appears that speed is not your most optimal venture, and then they immediately pick DT2. Well, Australia still believing that speed is their most optimal venture, going for the third double time pick in the row, just going up the ladder for them.
Yep. DT2, they were faced with a challenge, and he was like, okay, you know what? I bet you feel like the speed is not the best option for us. Let me show you. Bet. And now they have DT2. This is going to be your stamina pick, 230 BPM, mapped by none other than Orkai. A pretty well-known mapper when it comes to this slot. Also does play for Turkey, funnily enough, on this tournament as well. A pretty well-known player for Turkey, and I guess we are gonna see how this goes for Australia and whether Zydorn's words were true in this case.
Yeah, and I mean, already they have this different roster. Oh wait, no, Jitterish is Team Philippines. Well, we're waiting on who is their final Australian player, but Haley hopping back in the lobby. It's going to be not Dumb in for this pick, or Fusion Sephi filling out the spot for the stamina. Probably a different roster, going to be a different look for the tapping.
The Lion does not concern himself with the opponent's intimidation method. I saw this in chat and this is like so funny. This describes this pick perfectly, I would say. But yeah, 2-2-2, the score is tied, and this is the perfect opportunity for Australia to try and get the momentum back on their side, as Philippines have won 2 maps in a row. But in case if Philippines win this, then suddenly Australia is going to be in a lot of trouble, because Philippines, in that case, would take 3 maps in a row.
Yeah, that would be quite the momentum shift. Momentum, very important for that mental that we were talking about earlier. You lost your early breakpoint. For some players, that will be a mental boom, but for Philippines, it's been a mental buff as they continue to build up and as they continue to bring out new tricks out of their bag. Puffon XE making their match debut here for the stamina map.
Yep, joining in, Puffon XE. Haven't really seen and not really familiar with that player, but if you are a specialist player for this particular skill set, then you gotta cook, and cook, hopefully he will, as we are now starting off with this DT2. The players are now starting off 100s here and there on the slow section, nothing too out of the ordinary, as the accuracy is going to be on a Philippine side actually, because Fold does find a miss early on with a few act breaks here and there, a lot of 100s fusion, and also Gaber finding an early miss on the intro.
Yeah, gonna be a really solid start for Australia. One of these longer double time picks in the pool after that very quick Hard Rock map back to the 230 length. So gonna be holding on tight. That consistency gonna be very big for the potential scores. And already 300k as Bin Ninja and Fault find a trade, keeping the scoreline even. Gabber though, another FC down. It's only Fault trading those breaks. Jitterish, Puff on the XC versus the triple FC for Australia.
The equilibrium has been broken. That miss from Gaber does give the advantage to Australia when it comes to the combo. And so far, so good for all of these players. The accuracy is also looking quite good. If dropped here and there, Sephi still, while the combo is there, you just gotta hold on about halfway into the map now, as we still are going through the slow section, and an ideal opportunity to build up the combo and build up your accuracy. But the map just doesn't let go, and Sephi though does find a miss on the slow section, as Philippines now suddenly have the combo advantage on their side, and also Haley it's gonna be contribution of Fold. It's just him against Philippines, and Philippines are happy to take this opportunity as the scoreline shifts dramatically towards the right with the second key eye on our screens. Gaber does find a miss, but still Jitterish and Puffon still holding the FCs.
Puff falls, but Jitterish, another day, another FC. This is the third hold he's had for this Philippine side as they finally take the lead, but The
So
score is
close.
gonna start going dramatically. Bin and Giuseppe trade Arbusion, holding on to his respective FC. There's no recovery combos on anybody else in this lobby. It's Haley making the difference with that extra 300 off of Gabber, but Arbusion and Jitterish, these FCs, whichever one of those breaks first, will ultimately decide this map.
It might also come down to accuracy. Puffin finding a massive chain miss, but still it's going to be so close. The combos are there. No misses ahead of us, but the map is basically almost over. I don't think there's any time. 50,000 is going towards Australia, and given the map, I feel like this might be over. Haley does find a miss, though. Wait a minute, though. No, there is not enough time for Philippines to take and capitalize off of this break as Australia take their third point. That was really close. That was extremely close. 2 FCs, both from Arbusion and Jitterish. But it was not enough for Philippines.
Yeah, this match has been a match of head-to-heads, very important scores on each side, and then these supporting combos being the big story. Jitterish on a roll, but not enough that time, as Haley with that S rank and backup was the difference maker for Australia, getting that third point. The breakpoint streak is over, the momentum cut loose for Philippines as they have to hop into their next pick now.
Yep, and they go with Fremont 1. This is going to be your awkward aim AR9 map. Burst and triples to it, but still, this is going to be mainly awkward aim. Which I'm not opposed to. I feel like this is more of a gamble pick than anything. Kind of does resemble Hard Rock Free in some cases, but suddenly, Zeron's words are coming in to bite him. Because obviously, these two being very, very close, but still Australia did manage to take it. The observations were false. Australia proved them wrong.
Yeah, a little bit of mental warfare never hurt anybody, but was an incorrect prediction that time around. And for the aim picks, I do like this direction for the Philippines. I think Australia very strong mechanically, very strong in the reading, but on comfort mod aim, it's going to be a little bit of a different story. Philippines having a little bit of edge on the raw aim, in my eyes.
Yep, I feel like they should. Even with the mechanics, even with the burst and triples, obviously this map being 220 BPM, does add some mechanics test to it. And even then, I feel like Philippines are quite comfortable on this map nonetheless. Also going to depend entirely on the mod combinations and how they are feeling when it comes to the confidence, when it comes to this map in general and to this day. But so far, I feel like on paper, Philippines should be the clear favorite for this mod 1.
Yeah, especially with, I feel like if it were like a hidden one, we'd be talking a different tune. Hidden one, awkward aim, it's a little bit more 50-50, but while players are allowed to have their comfort mods here, it's going to be a different story. As speaking of aim specialists, another debut for this match, Supernai playing his first map for Australia, a aim superstar there, doing wonders in that grand finals lobby, FCing the No Mod 1 highest SR map in that pool, but will he follow it up with a performance in the 4WC now?
Well, the star rating is pretty similar. I feel like that No Mod in 5WC was like 7 stars. This one is going to be a little more harder, a little hard. This one, obviously, an awkward aim map, first of all. And also, the maps are a little more difficult, just a tiny little bit. So I guess we're going to see the players already, as we do see GGLF, Arbusion, Supernai, and Haley for Australia. Zini, Puffin, and Gaber, as well as Perhaps for Philippines, and the mod combinations are looking quite good. GGLF with Hidden, Arbusion, Haley with Hard Rocks, as we do see Zini with Easy, Puffin with Hidden Hard Rock, and Perhaps with Hard Rock. And easy for Zany.
Oh, the easy for Zany. That's going to be the difference maker. If I have a quick look, that is a 2.2 easy multiplier for Zany that will already be automatically added to the map. So we'll see if that makes a big difference for this team. It's going to be early breaks from JGLF and Haley to start off the map.
Yeah, both Hidden and Hard Rock down as the map starts off. Not the best intro, but still, the map is going to be a bit on the longer side, 3 minutes and 11 seconds long, so nothing that will hurt them that much as Zany. All eyes are on them for now as they continue to hold on the combo. GGLF finding yet another miss on the slow section, treated by Puffin, though Hidden Hard Rock for Philippines is down, as well as Arbusion suddenly.
Oh, wow.
Not the best misses that you want to see, but still the advantage is going to be on Philippines side, especially when it comes to accuracy, as Zany is doing wonders here, and the Hard Rock for Philippines is still holding on, with Perhap doing wonders with that Hard Rock.
Yeah, Perhap putting in the work here. It's going to be overall accuracy advantage for Australia, but this combo is gnarly for the side of Philippines. Zany still holding on to his easy FC. Finally, the Hard Rock falls, but it is still 2-1. Recovery combo on Haley is pretty big, but Puffon XC looking to bring that up with his recovery as well. Far matched as the lead starting to slowly shift back to Australia's side off of the back of this Perhap break.
I'd say it's like staying there. It all depends on the hundreds that are being dropped here and there. It's actually going more towards the right as it goes on. But this situation is extremely close. We are now in the hardest part of the map now. The diff spike, the guitar solo, and you see Arbusion missing. Haley also fighting him in. This one is huge though. That was the biggest recovery for Australia. Another miss from Arbusion, but still the Philippines are holding on. Haley get another miss, but still no answers from Philippines. And now the team on the right is going to be running away with this.
Yeah, looking really good for the Philippines here. Big double FC still being held on Gabber and Zany. The Nomad and the easy Arbusion getting slow slidered on the Comfort Hard Rock is going to be disastrous for their side. As Zany, he trades it, but still Gabber's breaking the final FC down for Super Nye. Is going to be the story. 500k up for Philippines and this final sliver of map to go. Can Gabber SS close out his FC?
Well, that is the question that is wondering on everybody's mind so far, and breaking the 1000 combo he does as the map just continues to go on. It's gonna be the last stretch, the last run, the last quarter actually, last 5% of the map. Last guy on the screens as Gaber puts on a masterclass here, making a difference. But uncontested in this free mode 1 he is, as he finds off and gets the FC for this free mod 1, hopefully, unless he misses at the very end, which hopefully he will not.
Hey, there we go.
Did he miss anywhere earlier on? Because that's 892k.
Nope, it's just the accuracy.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, that AR9, OD9, always going to be tricky on the accuracies of these players, but the double HR Gambit for Australia not paying off. That was a interesting overmod. It was matched by Puffon XE, but the triple S rank shows the comfort there for Philippines on this awkward aim, as they have closed out that 3 million team score, and again, a match scoreline, 3-3. We are in a best of, what would that be? Best of 7?
That would like, nah, I think like that's best of 5. Yeah,
best of 5.
Yeah. First to get 3 points wins, and it's going to be Australia's turn to pick, and we do see Nomad 5. They were on phase. They did lose DT3. They did win DT2. Let's see how the final speed map of this map pool is going to go for Australia's side. This one being primarily 234 BPM finger control, and this map is so intense when it comes to node density. It just starts off, it just goes in burst, triple, double, I don't know, 7 node burst. It just keeps on going. It just does not stop, and the intensity throughout the entire map everywhere. And I feel like on paper it might favor Australia given how they perform in DT2, because all that finger control, all of this node density, it does also consume stamina.
Yeah, very true. Again, I have to double back to that DT2 last weekend. This one, a little bit more stamina dense than that DT2, but it was finger control adjacent. The Philippines performed better than Australia there by slim margins, but an overperformance nevertheless. It's going to have to see how it performs this time. Similar length on this one to the DT2, around at that 3-minute range for this map, that stamina. It
feels odd being on the receiving end of speed abuse. I get it. Sometimes when you're a speed player and there's a superior speed player, you just get speed abuse. You're like, wait, that was my card. That was my strategy.
And I mean, I suppose that that familiarity is the reason why these maps were left open, an unexpected avenue for Australia to go down, but still Philippines, breakpoint potential on a map like this.
Definitely. This is one of their best skill set for Philippines. Obviously, really close with Australia, still one of the contested picks in this case, but still, I feel like on paper, once again, Australia are favored. We see the players finally joining in. GGLF, Sefty, Dom, and Fusion. Dom Andy making their appearance once more. Interesting choice. I feel like they did struggle with the accuracy a lot of and I feel like they did struggle with the accuracy on DT2 as well, unless they did not play it. I feel like they did not play it, so not sure, but hopefully they will be able to perform.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that's kind of the story of these speed picks so far. They'll have one slightly underperforming player, and then it's the team consistency that wins Philippines a near breakpoint or a breakpoint. So hoping for not so similar of a situation this time around, a little bit lower AR and comfortable stats for the players, down to AR 9.8 for this one, just slowly, incrementally going down with these tapping picks.
Yup. And Refusion is the first one to find a miss, an early break here on, but still nothing too crazy. The map is just starting off, 3 minutes and 8 seconds long. Francesco though does trade a little bit later, which does give Australia an early edge when it comes to the not the accuracy, but the combo. But the accuracy is looking quite good for Philippines on the contrary, with Francesco being the one to slider break, but still holding the best accuracy in the lobby so far, matched only by Sefi, who actually has a better accuracy, 99.8%. And Francesco though, with all that accuracy, still finds his slider break, which will hurt them quite a bit, but still, 1/4 of the map gone, as we are going to be transitioning into the first KI relatively soon.
Yeah, even Stevens, for Bijan Francis' case, only breaks on the board so far. That accuracy difference going to be this a 24k lead for the Philippines as these combos begin to build up again. Little kick slider in between a section here prior to the finger control build up once more. The Gabber SS on the transition gonna be falling, so core lead very heavily back in Australia's side, but GGLF with the slider break, a very unfortunate overaim. They're still gonna be keeping this, towing the line.
Still is, but it's still going more towards the left though as the map continues to go on due to that combo advantage that they still have. Francesco and Gaber is going to be free 2 FCs with one really good recovery against 2 FCs and also a pretty good recovery. But Refusion though does miss though. It's going to shift the equilibrium more towards the right as it's now slowly going towards the right. Half of them gone. Still one half remains. Spoffin though is going to be the one to fall. FC down for Philippines. Traded again again by Refusion, but it's not the NFC from Australia, and now they have the combo advantage on their side. The map just does not have AE breaks, just keeps on going. Puffin missing, Francesco missing, Sefi missing. Is going to be with Dumb Andy against Jitterish. Once again with Dumb Andy holding a slightly better accuracy, but still, it's so close once again.
Still so close, and as soon as you say the better accuracy, he drops 100 chain. It's lower now, and that accuracy difference is the score difference. That 4k built up to 10k. Jitterish looking for his 4th FC in this match. The match cost farming is real for Jitterish as he tries to confirm another Philippines breakpoint on the speed. 50k and building now. These recovery combos from Gabber gonna be playing a lot of the story. GGLF right behind him, but it's that slight active once again, and big 100 chains from Dumb Andy as well, further elevating Jitterish's score lead.
Time is not on the side of Australia. It's still going more and more towards the right. Jitterish holding the better accuracy. A lot of hundreds were found by Dumb Andy, but still the map goes on. There is still chance for them to come back. Sefi though does find a miss, not the miss they want to see, but still Philippines are holding on to the combos. Dumb Andy though does. And there goes their only opportunity, their only hope now with this Nomad 5 as Philippines take this Nomad 5 with the breakpoint. The speed picks of this matchup are so coin flippy. They're going left, right, and center, and the Philippines now in the lead, looking to capitalize off of that breakpoint with their own pick that is coming soon.
Yeah, and I mean, that FC from Jitterish is nuts, and the accuracy from the man right below him, Francis Case, a 99.41% one miss. is insane. 800 combos still got the 515k off the back of that solid accuracy lead in Philippines with a well-deserved breakpoint, now with their own pick to try and confirm match point.
Yeah, the combo game not sparing Francesco in any regard. That does hurt. I know that it must be upsetting and tilting a little bit because when you have a good accuracy on a speed pick, but then not manage to find the combo, and then you get outscored by people who have a lower accuracy but the higher combo, it just tells a lot. It does make you feel a little tilted, but still, Philippines did win their map. They did not their map actually. They did win Australia's map, and now, as long as they have the point on the board, they can try to capitalize off of that with their own map, with their own pick, which is probably gonna be. Actually, I'm not even sure. What do you think is gonna be the pick, Hubba?
Well, it's the Philippine side now, and they already know that Puyudo isn't here. Puyudo being one of that main Australian reading players, which kind of equalizes that reading even further, if not giving Philippines an edge. I would probably say one of these reading picks that's still left open, if not another awkward aim map if they want to go into something like Hard Rock 1.
Hard Rock 1 has a lot of other elements, not just awkward aim. It unironically does have finger control, it does have a few tech elements to them as well with 1-4 snaps, so Hard Rock 1 being definitely a pretty non-standard pick for Hard Rock 1, but we do see Hidden 2. As you've predicted, we'll be seeing reading, and this will be a custom by Jackie.
Yeah, hopping into the Hidden 2. Gonna be this reading pick slightly. A structure element's gonna be the main goal of this one.
Well, if Philippines win this one, they might try to close them out on Nomad 6. Obviously, Nomad 6 also having a lot of other gimmick elements to them. A lot of back and forth, but this map, this is going to be your 7.8 AR reading with a lot of perfect overlaps and perfect stacks. Also, a little bit on the alternating side, 150 PM, so it does have a little bit of an alt test, which did go towards Australia's favor with that Nomad 3, but still, the main skill set is going to be reading.
Yeah, now it's gonna be who's gonna be filling in this spot for Puyudo, because Puyudo is, I'd say, other than JGLF, like the main reading player for the Australian team. So if still not present, that's going to be a very unfortunate loss for that team. And it's looking like Fulton, Seffi, and Super Nice, some of these new players for the Australia side, gonna be taking the reins.
Very real. Zany joining in as well. For Philippines, the rosters are slowly preparing, but what do you think of this, Big Hubba? You did mention that this is probably going to be good for Philippines, but in general, your thoughts?
I think the structure reading can be, for a map like this, it's all about the practice put in. So hopefully Australia is well scouted. Hopefully they were expecting Puyudo to not be here and have that extra practice on their fourth player. It can also be kind of a carry map if it's about that comfort. A player like Fault or Super Nine, they've carried in the past and may be able to do it again in the face of a very dangerous Philippines pick.
You know, like, this is probably one of the more important maps throughout this entire matchup, but we do see Among Us in chat, so it tells you a lot when it comes to the mental. The Philippines are they are confident too, with this being their own pick, so let's see. Hopefully they will be able to deliver. If not, Australia, they need to win this map because they need to equalize the score and hopefully deny Philippines the match point that they are craving for. So heading to, let's go.
In we go. Starting off light, just a couple of these stacks. Going to be a big focus on the combo numbers for this map. Going to be helpful for scouting out some of these perfect stacks and the BPMs that they are. Of course, you mentioned the alt nature, and you're seeing a lot of these long hold sliders going to be enforcing a certain amount of AR8 comfort on a map like this, and immediately you're starting to see who the fill player may be for each of these teams. Arbusion and Fallout with the early breaks, but traded by a big triple break. It's only Zany, the reading expert for this Philippines team.
Yeah, and also GGLF, the only one holding for Australia when it comes to the FC region. Also does find a miss though, and Zany though, also trading them with each other as GGLF is gonna be the only one holding the combo. Pafon also missing, and suddenly all the spotlight, all the attention is gonna be on GGLF. We did at GGLF. One half of the map now gone as they still hold on to that combo, making a massive difference with 50,000 advantage that just keeps on growing towards the left as they keep holding on to that combo.
Yeah, still holding on, and I mean, this is why he was put on that OWC team, this reading specialty from JGLF. He's become way more well-rounded in recent time, but this is the original strength for the player. And proving it once again. Recovery combos being built up on Philippines, but it's not going to matter so long as JGLF holds onto this FC. But unfortunately, the players around him, there's no recoveries. If it does fall, Philippines have a massive in, but just no time as there's only 10 seconds about remaining on this map.
Yep, what a massive step up from GGLF. Right when they need it, we did talk how suddenly losing Poyuto will hurt Australia's rating. You have said solo carry potential from him as he does close out the FC with 1 million score, making such a massive difference for his team and equalizing the score as now this match is suddenly best of 3.
And that breakpoint is so important for Australia, evening it out once again. I mean, this match has had even amount breakpoints to non-breakpoints. And now Australia trying to confirm that match point that's been so desperately needed. Will we be seeing a tiebreaker, Lightin? What do you think?
I feel like we might, but something that I also want to see, and also a lot of people in the chat want to see, is Nomad 6 is going to be that FanGen map. And I feel like with Hidden 2 going towards Australia's side, it's not far-fetched that Australia might want to pick that. Obviously, this is going to be your RNG map, and you might want to go for another gamble. And honestly, I feel like Hidden 1 is probably going to be the more safe pick for them, but I am not sure whether Nomad 6, obviously also an option, but still, I feel like Hidden 1 is going to be a lot more safe given that Australia did win Nomad 3 with a pretty solid lead of about 300,000. Oh, Philippines. Ooh, never mind though, the fan favorite, Mikazuki.
Oh, the classic. We've been in the playtesting side, we basically got a list of rhythm maps, and Chiv made all the playtesters vote. And this was the survivor, Mikazuki, in our Nomad 6 spot. Gonna be very tricky, very consistent. 4 minutes, one of the longest maps in this pool, and it's a OD10 low AR check.
Oh, this is gonna be such an act battle. If you open up the leaderboard of this map, you're gonna see A rank FCs. I feel like the highest FC on this map is gonna be like 93% FC from Akoro from back in the day, so definitely something that tests your accuracy and your comfortability with the map. It does require a lot of practice, and the gimmick, the aim control, the reading, and also partially precision and consistency. It has it all, but most importantly, it's gonna be your gimmick reading, as this map is just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, FanGen, known for his interesting maps and unique takes on mapping, and now proving it once again with this one. Such a unique map, especially for its era, and now will anybody be matching or getting past that Ikoroak? Remains to be seen.
Yep, this was ranked back in 2018, and FanGen always has been the inventor when it comes to the mapping in general. Getting that second place, I feel like, on MCA Grand Award last year, and also getting the best, I feel like getting the Grand Award for the best map of 2024. So still going strong with gimmicks, and this one is the one that started it off. Mikazuki CS5 AR 7.6, as the players are now ready, and we are gonna see the massive thing, aim control and reading strain that this map has.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen a big bulk of the maps in this pool hover around the 7-star range. So, with all the talk we've been talking, for a map that dips way down below to this 4.6, on paper, for players who are unaware, they may not understand how complex something like this may be, but already you're seeing these players start to break early. Fault with the first break on the Australia side.
Well, to be fair, that was not the break that I was expecting. I feel like most of the breaks are going to be on the KIs where the doubles, 1-4 doubles and 1-2 doubles, back and forth doubles are prevalent. But yeah, starting off finally with said reading and aim control patterns, as we do see in the early break already from and a lot of issues from a lot of highest accuracy. Is going to be Sittern with 96%, the old man of the Philippine squad, showing that he may have practiced this map back in 2018 and making different. Super Nye also finding another miss, which does hurt Australia a lot. Traded by Gaber not that long after. Also, a lot of hundreds coming in from him, as Zany, Zittern, and GGLF are going to be the ones on to that FC after the first TI.
Yeah, Zydorn, very impressive act so far. High score in the lobby by quite a wide margin. Zany right behind him on the 93. Meanwhile, the Australia side all around 92%, being the highest on this fault recovery. But score lead's still massively going in Philippines' favor, as of course the lows are lower, but the highs are higher on the Philippines side.
Indeed, the accuracy is looking so good, and also 3FC still holding on basically. Both Francesco finally starting off with the second guy. Now Gaber does find another, but still no misses from the front runners of the Philippines side, and no misses from Australia, as the difference goes slowly towards the left though, due to the misses from Gaber and the good recovery from Australia. But they still managed to hold on the accuracy. A lot of hundreds going below 93% for a moment, as him, Zittern, and Zini both having the highest accuracy in the lobby. But still, the combo side, it's slowly bleeding Philippines. It's still slowly but surely going towards the left.
Yeah, and I mean, it's these double FCs being held on the top side, but Fault slowly clawing it back, passing that 93% mark. The combos on all four players. Gabber is the only one really losing score during these sections, but still hovering around this 50k margin is gonna be the scoreline for any future breaks. Combo advantage heavily on Australia's side.
It's one further than up left. The Sheik is evident. Super Knife does find a miss. Finally, someone from Australia breaking does give Philippines the opportunity. Not the miss they want to see Australia, but now the final key eye on the board. Francesco missing, instead of missing, players from Philippines missing. It's only Zany, but the combos for Australia are still holding. Suddenly, it all flips down 180. Francesco yet another miss, but Australia, they keep holding on. It shifts towards the left, but the combos are still there. It's just Zany to try and hold them on, but no misses. No concept of a miss for Australians, as they are coming for the Philippines. Another miss from Super Nye, but it just does not stop. Another miss from Sittern. Australia, what are they doing? They're stealing this in broad daylight.
Oh, Fault breaks, but it's too little too late. There's a little bit of map remaining. GGLF still holding on to the FCR Fusion 50 chain, but it's all about the combo at this point, as he is making it work through these sections. There's only the recovery, oddly enough, from Gabber coming back at the end of this map to back up Zany, but this 115k lead, far too little too late, as Australia confirming their final point, confirming match point, and now the ball is in Philippines court. It's all up to them to bring this to tiebreaker.
Oh, this one hurts. It was so close, but Australia getting their match point now, getting their pick, winning 2 reading picks out of the 2. And getting that sweet match point for them, as Philippines are now going to be trying their best to try and get that last point on the board to try and force tiebreaker. You know, it's kind of funny. In case of Philippines force tiebreaker, me and Hubba, I feel like we've been commentating the tiebreaker last weekend as well, right?
Yeah, every time we've commentated together for this tournament, it's been a tiebreaker.
That's just funny, honestly, but oh well. Final pick from Philippines. They need to think. Their backs against the wall. Cornered. But as you mentioned in one of the matches prior, when your backs are against the wall, you're the most dangerous. You're the most dangerous, and you're the one who will try to squeeze out that last point for yourself. But now the options. What options do Philippines have? They have potentially Nomad 1, DT1, Fremont 2. They could go for Fremont 2 for that easy multiplier. They may try to go for Hidden Free, which is also an opportunity. It's mostly going to be rhythm control with a lot of other as well, but still, suddenly you have to weigh your options. And what do you think will be one of the better options, Haba?
I still think, call me crazy, we've been talking about Hidden 1 an awful lot, but okay, they're going Nomad 1. The Nomad 1 is the smarter choice, but I was gonna say Hidden 1 might be good for them if Puyudo is missing, because Puyudo is so strong on those Hidden 1s for Australia. Missing him would be a massive blow, but Nomad 1 is gonna be the pick. We're going into Augo 8's big consistency with a classic.
Yup.
Oh, wait a minute, that was Dumb Andy. That was Dumb Andy. Dumb Andy trolled them.
Alright, we just got chipped. Well, to be fair, Nomad 1 is also an option for Philippines that they can take, but still, Hidden 1, personally, as someone who maps that band a lot, and also, I feel like has every single map of that band, I would kind of love to see Hidden 1, just saying.
You've mapped about like 7 Gavin Dance maps, like, so chill.
Yeah, yeah. I'm contributing, but yeah, they call me a Dance Gavin Dance mapper, but Sebas is probably gonna be the OG Dance Gavin Dance mapper. And yeah, still waiting for that pick, taking their sweet time Philippines. Well, they probably should, because this one is gonna decide their fate of this tournament, because this is a lower bracket. If they lose this map, the upcoming map, they're gonna be eliminated from the tournament. And I feel like if you are in the position of Philippines, you might want to try and make it to tiebreaker, especially when tiebreaker is Echoes of Memoria. Such a good song from Ludison.
Yeah, that one gonna be very hybrid, very important. The tech map notably being banned by Australia, so naturally you would imagine that this gives an edge to Philippines if tiebreaker is played. You're probably gonna avoid DT1 if you're the Philippines here. Australia, the number 4 scoring team on that DT1 with a 3.7 million team score, so likely to go into one of these more volatile options. Of course, that Hard Rock 3 going well for them if they want to go Hard Rock 1 or Nomad 1 after that aim victory, but they're teasing us? Like, it's Augo 8. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it is Nomad 1. At the end of the day, they had to think, they had to take their sweet time, but it all came down back to the hype pick. Augo 8, I don't think this map needs any sort of introduction. Pretty well known, and also really long hovering, 6 minutes when it comes to the drain time, and it has it all. It has the aim, it has the consistency, it has a few streams, a few bursts, and most importantly, it has the hype factor, because, you know, if you're Philippines, if you're gonna potentially lose this match, you might as well do this on a hype pick, you know?
If you're gonna lose this match before a tiebreaker, pick the map that is a tiebreaker. 6 minutes long.
6 minutes long indeed.
Gonna be big hybrid here, 207 BPM aim focus, but handful of bursts and streams in there as well. Don't want to get struck up by the flow aim in the aim map. Philippines having that edge in the awkward aim, this one a lot more standard, a lot more focused on that consistency. Gonna be likely rosters, GGLF, Damandi already in, but probably gonna be seeing Super Nye very consistent on the style map time and time again, as Bin Ninja and Perhap hop into the side for Philippines.
Pretty much. It all comes down to this. Honestly, what do you think about this map, Haba? Not just the map, who do you think it might favor?
For these rosters, it's gonna be tough to say. I mean, Australia was a tough cookie to crack on AIM in the 5WC, and with these rosters, with Haley in the fold, it's gonna be pretty tricky for that consistency. But Philippines, they won one AIM, hopping into the next one. I feel like they won that first AIM pick more off of stats. This is gonna be more 50-50, more volatile. This really could go either way, but I'm gonna give Australia a slight edge on this pick. Like, I think this is a slight mispick in comparison to something like that hard rep one.
Yep, and here we go, finally loading into the Snowmod 1. Good luck, aimers. Indeed, you need that luck, because this may potentially be the last map for Philippines. Or this could be the start of something else. This could be their saving grace, as they might want to try and get to the tiebreaker to witness the echoes of Memoria. Let's see, the map starts off. I do love the skip button on Damendi's side.
I was gonna say, he's got like a little bookmark on him.
For real. I wonder why it does that, but still.
Early act leads for the Philippines. Early act drop for Damandi, who said he assessed the map previously. So funny mental warfare going on in the chat there as well.
Pretty much. We can skip Andy's play, that's so funny. But yeah, nonetheless though, slight combo man, not combo, slight act man for Philippines. No misses so far, but they are definitely gonna be coming because the map is 6 minutes. Wait, nobody is gonna miss on the 6 minutes that this map does offer, especially considering the intensity on the key eyes. And yep, so far so good for all of these players. Good accuracy for a lot of them actually. A few SSs still being held, but again, this map is your act test. It's going to be mainly a consistency and combo test, which may throw a few people off guard, especially with a few jumps here and there. But finally, slight bridge part on our screens. Still, the combos well intact with 5,000 lead for Philippines as the map just continues to go on.
Yeah, these kick slider sections early on are going to be probably a main source of breaks if we see any early, but first Ki inbound as we start to see the first issuance of the cross-screen jumps. Bin Ninja holding highest stack in the lobby, matched by our Fusion Haley. Actually, holding on to SS is very comfortable consistency, but how will that affect the nerves as the map continues to go on? First quarter in, more kick sliders, still no breaks for any of these players. Built up axe is the only reason for this 8k difference as we see this first end section. JTLF the first combo down, and immediately the skyrocket in score up from 8k to 20k, doubling in a matter of moments as they hold on to the tail end of the Ki. But will this break affect their mental?
Let's see, this one is gonna hurt them a lot though. 1/3 of the map now gone. The FC dropped for Australia, suddenly giving the combo advantage for Philippines. And still, it's going to be the slow section, so missing right at the end of the Ki is going to bleed them a lot since you are able to build up a lot of combo and accuracy on the... So, not the best miss that you want to see, especially if you're rooting for Australia, but if you're rooting for Philippines, or if you're rooting to see the tiebreaker, this might be the opportunity for Philippines to try and come back match. And as you have said, let's see whether this does play into the mental of GGLF. They did do quite well on fire. The momentum was on there. 2 maps off this matchup, but still another Ki on our screens and no misses so far. The aim does get a little more higher. The jumps are gonna be a little spaced, and the overall intensity of the section is still there, but the accuracy on Philippines, the overall consistency, just look at them and look at Jitterish.
Still holding on to the SS. And I mean, that's really scary stuff. Another big jump pattern. Bin Ninja finally finding that first trade. JGLF holds through the section. Recovery combo back on the side of Australia. And accuracy as well, slightly in their favor by about 200s. So, some quick maths for you as Australia looking to come back some. Big 1/3 section inbound now as we see some massive act drops from a number of players. Actually, SS finally falls for Jitterish. But the bigger act drops are going to be on the side of Australia. The flow aim not striking out any combos there.
Yup, that matters. Now we're going to the flow aim section, the stream section. As nobody finds a miss yet on that space stream, but still the solo section just continues to go on. The intensity is still there, and it's gonna come down to this. Hopefully or hopefully not, the combos are still intact. A few act drops for a few players, but still surviving. It's now gonna be even more, a lot of hundreds down for Dom Andy, and also fighting a miss. This is gonna, and Philippines now on the driver's seat, looking to this map on their side. Perhaps though does trade this 60,000 difference. This is so close between these players, and Haley, oh no, Haley, GG left, Generation Gaber all dropping, and it's just their beauty with the FC.
The old guard renewed life. 7.3 stars, still holding on to the FC. 99.31, 37k score to climb. Do not let the nerves hit you now, Arbusian. You have one job and a third of a map to do it. Claw back the victory and deny the tiebreaker if you can.
It's all gonna come down to this guy. 2,000 combo in his hands. The only one contesting him is Ninja with 700 combo. It's slowly going towards the left. He just keeps on going. The map is almost over. There is still time for him. He just needs to hold on. We can see the slide shake coming in from his cursor, but he still manages to persevere, to hold on. The jumps are hitting, and he finally manages to get the combo on the side. A lot of the shake is so evident here, but he perseveres. He tries to hold on, and he does a good job with the Ninja falls. Generation perhaps a triple miss from Philippines, but Arbusian is set to finish this match. He wants to finish it right here and right now, as 80,000 difference with him still holding the FC makes a massive difference. And finally, by the looks of it, Arbusian is gonna be the hero of Australia on this Nomad 1.
Where everyone else in the lobby falters, Arbusian prevails. 99.4% the shake. So mighty, but the job has been done. Big pattern aim jumps, the miss finally comes through, but it doesn't matter. 96,000 score and a massive lead for Australia as they shut Philippines out, avoiding the tiebreaker on the Nomad 1.
What a way to end this match. I was about to say we were probably going to see tiebreak, and I was excited for Echoes of Memoria, but by the looks of it, Arbusian had different plans for this match. He had different plans for this map, and wow, what a performance for him to end this match. Australia taking the final victory and winning this map with a fashion. Congratulations to Australia for advancing further, and nice try from Philippines. It was so close, but yet so far. And with that being said, Philippines are going to be the ones eliminated from 4WC this year as Australia goes on to live another day.
Yeah, what a 50-50 match this was throughout. Many break points and head-to-heads throughout the whole map. Unfortunately, ending in a break point of its own, avoiding that tiebreaker narrowly is Australia off the back of that near FC from Arbusian. And I feel like a big story of this match was those carry performance. You had Jitteresh seeing 4 maps in this pool. You had those matching scores from Haley on a number of them, as well as Arbusian getting those 2 near FCs when it mattered the most on Algo Aids and that DT2.
Yep, and I feel like that's the point to say our goodbyes. Congratulations to Australia with winning this match once again. This was so close, but yet so far for Philippines. And casting this match for you was Lightin and Hubba. Streaming this one was Robotskin, and we are going to see you relatively soon in about 40 minutes with another match coming in. Indonesia and Thailand.